Real quick, I just want to say, those brothers that just left, the brothers I've been working with, been knowing, been in contact with, and learned a lot from, and all that stuff. I done poured into some of them, and been important to me. And I think the one thing we got to seriously do is try to figure out how do we unite everybody. That's got to happen in some kind of way. Folks got to come together. So, you know, the answer is somewhere. In this room with folks that left and the folks that are still here. The answer is somewhere. Now, I believe that we would have more than 30 homicides. If it wasn't for groups like all of us and Mad Dads and everybody else who's been doing the work, it'd be worse than what it is. A lot of us has already stopped some stuff. Plenty of us. The Prayer Center, all kind of folks. New Salem, everybody that's up in here. So, let's not lose the fact that, you know, hey, this ain't Chicago. We in at 400, 500 homicides. And you know, any help is good help. So there's a program, there's some stuff that we can do that can be implemented. Let's try to figure out how to implement it. That's what this is about. It's going to take some collaboration. Ain't no one person that can do it all. So I'm about collaboration. I ain't about any of that other stuff. I ain't about none of that. Mad Dad is about collaboration. So if it's collaboration, let's make it happen.
My name is Lord Jamie Green, former Vice Lord. I met John Turnipseed probably about a year ago. He gave me his DVD. All David Carlson, Arthur Fields, King, all the guys that just left. I know them all. There's a problem in our community. If we don't do something about it collectively, it will happen to your family. I was the last one to think that violence of that nature would happen to my family. My 14-year-old daughter was killed, Sherez Jones. I know all those guys hard. I know what they've been doing. To me, it's not about money. I'm called by a higher calling now. That God lead me, the money will come. Until we come together collectively, as a community, the officials. I turned in a machine gun. I didn't want credit for that. I just wanted it off the street. Hopefully it stopped the life from being taken. My niece didn't deserve that. Taisha Edwards didn't deserve it. Marcus Brewer didn't deserve it. Star Jump Hall didn't deserve it. Until the men of the community say you're a man of God, stand up. When men stand up, boys sit down. I'm not here representing a group or organization. I'm here standing up because that's what my father told me to do. I don't need validation by man. When that violence hit my family, the first thing I wanted to do was retaliate because she didn't deserve to die like that. Little boy was walking down the street with his mother, holding her hands, coming out of Walgreens and was shot. April 15th, 28 days after I was baptized and saved, I was gunned down 5 times with a gun equivalent to an AK-47. Myself, I had an SKR in the house. I got rid of it. What I'm saying is, the ones that's out there creating this violence, it needs to go right to them. David, you know that. We talked about this. My thing is the foundation, whatever is going to happen in this town, to me, it has to be the foundation of God. He said something about the churches. Where we come from, Arthur, you know this. They respect the churches. When you want out, that's the only way you can get out. Other than that, you know, there's a route to the street, you know that. And I know these brothers want something different to do. This is my boss, Sean Morrissey, here at Moore Construction. These brothers need jobs. Mike Arthur was saying, and we talked about it yesterday, we don't want nobody to give us nothing. I work every day. Every day. I mean, I wish I could have been doing this 5-10 years ago. I know what the problem is. I know a lot of them haven't had fathers there just to simply tell them they love them. You can go and put your arms around these guys. Well, Spike left, but Marvin was there. We had to sit in the room with the guys we know killed my niece. My brother was there. I told Reverend Mackey to lock the door. Who was at that funeral? When the women started crying, said, you know, that's when they killed their own little friend. And we told them to sit down, let the women and children leave first. And the women said, we're so tired of this. When are the men going to stand up? First of all, we gotta stop being cowards. We gotta stop being cowards. We scared of our own kids? That's what it is. You can sit and face the threat of death out there gangbanging for 20 and 30 years. But then you scared to go back to the very community, the very atmosphere and climate that you created. Now, I wasn't going to speak. I wasn't going to say nothing. I know for a fact, I'm ready. Lead me, God, do what you want me to do. Say, I'll say what you want me to say. It's time. It happened in my family. I never thought I'd be the one in the front of the church, right behind hers. If we don't stand up and do it now, somebody's kid in this room, it could happen to. Me and this guy, we never got into it. But you was GD, and I was a vice lord, and I said, you know what? We know the solution. We know it, don't we? So if it's the elected officials that's holding it back, whatever it is they want to do, and they know they can do it, then allow them to do it. Give them that chance. I met, say your name again, sir. I met him at Phelps Park. And remember what I told you? I said, my peers are not here. The ones that can do it. They're not here. I don't see the David Carlsons, the Jerome Copelands, the Corey Birds, the Reggie Ferguson, the Slaughters, the Carbiers, the Jamils, all those guys. I don't see them here. But yet they will go and give the money, and I know it's about money, I see that, but that's really not it. They will go give the money to somebody that don't understand the problem. A climate and an atmosphere has been created in this town. I used to love this city. I was the first one trying to, I was looking for a place outside of Minneapolis. She said, no, Jim, you can't leave, you gotta do stuff right here. Being a victim of violence no more than a year ago, when the officers came to the hospital, and the things they asked me, I told them, well, it's paid for by the blood of Christ. I'm a man of God now. I reap what I sow. All the stuff that I put out there came back on me. That ain't supposed to happen to my niece or to Nisha Edwards or Marcus Buell. Those kids was outside playing. Now, I told those guys when I went to them, I wondered if it was your little brother, your little sister. So those guys do have the answer to the question. But if they're not given the opportunity to do something about it, then, when they say they want to stop the violence, they just talk. It's just a lot of talk. Give them the money. It is disrespectful to have a group, no disrespect to CeaseFire, to have CeaseFire come. I always see PJ and raise them up because they're out there. They're visual. You see them. And I see these other groups out there. Well, give them the money. Give those brothers that just left the money. Give them a chance. It's disrespectful to have another group or organization come in when these guys, I work for at-risk youth service. Steve Floyd was my supervisor. The very same thing that y'all saying y'all did we do it, Steve? We did it. Arthur, brother, I love you, man. It's just in the 3 weeks that I see it on you. God got a higher calling for you. It's time. Reggie needs to be sitting here. Slaughter needs to be sitting here. All of them need to be sitting here. Even though they out of it. You out. But guess what? We got to go back. We got to go back and take what it says in the Bible. Come on, help me, Steve. I'm doing it. Come on, Sean. By force, whatever. That's right. We have to take it by force. We're not cowards. God's calling soldiers. So we got to get back out there and take it by force. Sister Geraldine, remember the day I said we have to have what? The authorities with us. We have to have, didn't I say it? We have to have the communication and the support of who? The Minneapolis Police Department. But how can we have the Minneapolis Police Department helping us? And when they come, you see what happened what they did to that brother. And then we stood up and said, brother, officer, you're wrong. They got to be helped.